Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you another reflection. And today we're following up on what I talked about yesterday at the Sunday service. And that is that we're going to start expressing the truth and the things that God is doing inside of us, that we don't just kind of collect seeds. That seed collecting thing is just not a thing for God, that God is not looking for you and I to be collecting seeds, and so that at the end of our lives that we come and we present them with a giant bag of seeds. The Lord's like, that's supposed to actually be planted and turned into fruitfulness. And so you should be bringing me a bag of fruit. But I think it's important as we begin this discussion to say that God is not looking for you just to work harder, because I think a lot of Christians are like, okay, I'll work harder. And some of us are willing to get on the playing field and just work harder because we think that this is how God is going to be pleased and how he bear fruit in that sense. But I want to tell you that I think that what ends up happening, if we're not careful, is that we just spend all kinds of religious energy and then we wear ourselves out because we don't walk and work with the goodness and grace of God going inside of us. We work and we walk as somebody who feels like that we have to do this in order to gain God's approval, and this is the only way to please God. Now, if you think about the disciples, they are actually producing fruit by being with Jesus and working alongside of Jesus. And so there's a lot of hard work. I'm not saying that there's no hard work, but that we're working, as the Apostle Paul said, I worked harder than all the rest of them, yet not I, but the grace of God in me was working. And so Jesus would say, I think, to us this morning, as we get on the playing field of expression and expressing the life of God that's inside of us and that coming out of us in beautiful and in practical ways, that as we do that, he would say this to us. And he's speaking to people who are religiously really burdened here in Matthew chapter 11. And he says this, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, who are, as Eugene Peterson would put it in the Message, who are who are burdened and waylaid by religion or something of that sort, that you're just under the heavy yoke of religion. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke, as opposed to the yoke of the Pharisees, the yoke of religious obligation. Instead, take my yoke on you. It's easy, it's well-fitting, it works for you, because I am lowly and humble at heart. Take my yoke and learn from me. So what Jesus is doing is he's saying to us that as we actually walk with him and we take his yoke on us, that there is grace to work hard for him, with him, but that we are not working, we're not working for the approval of God, we're working from the approval of God, that God has approved of us, that God has given us grace. And so we work that out, that comes out of us, rather than this just, I gotta work really hard to be a more Christianly kind of person. No, that's actually the game of the Pharisees in this. Jesus says, come to me, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My burden is light. I want you to walk with me, Jesus says, and I want you to walk with me in the grace that I give. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't work hard, because I think that there are different assignments and different things that the Lord calls us into that are just hard work, and there's still grace for it, but it doesn't mean that we're not working hard. But it does mean that we're not working by ourselves, that we are working with the one who loves us. We're working with the grace of that one who loves us at work inside of us all of the time. And as we do that, then fruitfulness begins to be a part of our lives as we express the life of God, of what God is doing inside of us. So come to the Lord, ask him for the grace that you need in that day, every single day. Lord, I need grace to be a part of your good work and your formation in me today. I need your grace. And I surrender to that grace. And I ask you, Lord, for your help as I interact with you, as I participate with you throughout all of today. This is the one day that I have. I want to participate with you, Lord. Thanks so much for joining me today. I love you. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm praying for you. God bless you.